This week on Steel Horse Thunder, we're at the Crowbar in Trafalgar, Indiana for the Veterans House Ride.
Changing our country, and it starts right here locally.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big step to help our veterans for sure.
Then we head to Lapel for the Eagle Riders Ride.
Yeah,
Cool.
It all stays local. Whatever we don't, donate it to Wounded Warrior Project or anything, and like the big like that. I mean,
Right.
not that I have anything against them, but
Right.
people like to see the money stay local.
All that and much more this week on Steel Horse Thunder.
Steel Horse. They're doing an
Who's
interview.
this?
This is Cheryl.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we
I
gotta get her
tell
out
you a
too.
story about last weekend, but I better not.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
Don't look now. Crambos isn't just paint. It's your one-stop shop for motorcycle gear, parts, and service. Crambos, voted the Indy A-List #1 motorcycle shop 2 years running, has expanded with the state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment for tuning your fuel-injected Harley and a new paint facility to make your bike stand out from all the others. Crambos also has a new retail area complete with leather, chrome, audio, and all your parts and service needs. Crambos, voted #1 for a reason.
You have been injured in an automobile collision, and suddenly your vocabulary has been expanded to include terms totally unfamiliar to you. We know accidents can be overwhelming to the injured victims and their families. You know you can put your trust in the familiar faces of Leidendorf Law. We take care of you and your family so that you can focus on recovering from your injuries. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are.
Hey man, we're here at the booming metropolis of downtown Trafalgar, Indiana. We're at the Crowbar. If you ride a motorcycle and you've headed down south, you've been to the Crowbar before. Cindy, what's going on today?
This is the Not Forgotten Ride for the Indiana vets, and it's going to be a big ride today.
It's beautiful, sun shining. We're finally allowed to ride and do things together again. So what do you say we go find somebody and find out a little bit more about the ride?
Let's go.
All right, man, we're here at Trafalgar. We've got a pretty cool ride going on. Can you tell me a little bit about this ride? I know it's like we will never forget, but what is this really all about?
Well, really what we're trying to do is just bring awareness to the Vietnam veterans. Back in December, we had came up with some ideas on what we wanted to do for a ride, and it kind of touches home with me because my dad's a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
And basically, when he was going through his cancer treatments, he was allowed to stay up at the Veterans House up in Indianapolis. And what they do is they provide any veteran who's getting service from the VA who lives outside of a 50-mile radius, they take them in, they allow them to stay there and their family for free. They give them transportation to and from the VA hospital, and it's all done for non-for-profit. So they require as much donations as they can get. And specifically, my dad had nothing but good things to say about him. So it kind of touched home for me, and everybody just jumped on board with it. So we're just wanting to bring attention to not only all the veterans, because we love all the vets, but the Vietnam guys were kind of the ones that had been forgotten about. And we want to show them and let them know that we still care about them, and we want to welcome them home every chance we can.
That is awesome. And so it's the Indy Vet House is what it's actually called.
That's
right?
correct. All the donations that we pull in today are going to go directly towards them. Everything that from the donations that are coming in, and all the money, the proceeds that we take in. The vice president of the board of directors will be down at the end of the ride in Mooresville, and we're going to hand everything directly over to him.
Wow. That's so cool, especially when it happens right then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
so
gonna go.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been in contact with them since January, and unfortunately, with the COVID thing, it's all been emails, but they've been really on board with it, and we would like to turn this into an annual thing. This is our first one, and we'd like to do it every year. So
I think it's fantastic. I was not aware of this, the Indy Vet House. I wasn't even aware of that, and it was like the more I read about it, I had grandchildren that had some health issues, and they were over in Missouri, so they went to the St. Louis Children's Hospital where they had a Ronald McDonald House,
right,
which provided the same thing. They were
Correct.
able to stay there. There was food there. They had transportation to the hospital.
Yep.
And I just thought that was an amazing thing. I didn't even realize they had one for veterans. So I mean, man, I'll tell you right now, I'm super stoked that you guys are doing this.
Yeah, I am too, and I think that the biggest thing we can get out of this is to bring awareness to this house, and because it's one of those things that, I didn't know about it until my dad had to go through that issue, and to know that he was well taken care of and all the other veterans are well taken care of. And it's not just the Vietnam veterans that can stay there, it's any veteran.
Okay.
If they're getting treatment through the VA and they're outside of the 50-mile radius, anybody is welcome to come up there, and it's all for free. Families can stay there. They feed them, they put them, and it's a beautiful house.
That's cool.
And it's just, we want to take care of our guys.
Very good,
Very
man.
much.
Super good. I mean, and I love you guys anyway, man. You guys always do a good job.
We love you guys too, and it's the biker community. It's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
I think people can take nowadays, especially, I think people can take a page from our community and use that to make the step forward in changing our country. And it starts right here locally.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big step to help our veterans for sure.
Exactly. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming out, guys.
All right.
All right, Rooster, you're the vice president. Tell me about the swords, because you guys do so much for a lot of people, this community. Tell me about it.
We're a group of guys that try to do as much as possible for the community. We're really big on raising money for veterans and veterans foundations. That's probably the majority of the things that we hold events for. But we try to stay as involved as possible in the community, help with other people's rides, show up, help donate money and raise money for different causes, because everybody needs help.
They do. So tell me about, do you guys just do this area? I mean, as far as your group itself?
We do tend to stay south. Doing rides up in the city is kind of a pain. We did one last year, and there's so many stoplights and stop signs, and it's not really that fun. Plus, it's a lot prettier down here.
Yeah, right.
We got a lot more scenic views. So,
Tell me a little bit about the story about the Crowbar.
Well, me and my father opened the Crowbar in '95, and we were here for 3 years. And I think that wasn't the direction I wanted to stay in, and we sold it, and somehow we got it back, and we sold the business completely out. I obtained the Crowbar back. It came back on my lap in 2009, and I didn't, at that time, I didn't know what direction I was going when I came back. And, we were a smoking facility, and we played the music.
Right.
And I wanted to go a different direction. And so I became more of an Applebee's of our community. I'm breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We open at 7 o'clock in the morning. We close at 11. Our food, is, I think, off the charts.
Yeah.
People drive from all over to pick up, to come in and sample our cuisine. And so, I think we went non-smoking 4 years ago. And I was one of the guys that fought for smoking, because I thought it was my right to do what I wanted in my establishment. Mm-hmm. So I was one of the guys that, that stood up on Johnson County, and we're still smoking county. But I went a different direction, and I said, hey, I'm going to go non-smoking, because I wanted to go more of that restaurant feel. And that's what I did. And, business is really, when I did that, business just shot straight up. And I can tell you, this community has really supported me and stood behind me, and they love the changes that I made, because we just spent a ton of money on doing some renovations, and we're going to have the back open shortly, and that's going to be a nice a nice addition to the Crowbar, with all the open the garage doors, and it's going to be just a nice patio feel, but it's going to be an all seasons room that we can use it all year.
Jennifer, you're here at this ride. You go through so many rides, but you yourself always put on a ride. Tell me about that ride.
So Teamster Horseman is putting it on this year, July 25th. It'll start at Monkey Business. Our home is called Hope for Peanut. We help young pregnant teens. In my daughter's honor, in 2017, she was murdered. Her and their baby lost her life. She was hit by a stray bullet. So in her honor, we opened a home. We help 4 young pregnant teens. We help young ladies outside of the house. And Teamster Horseman for the last 2 years has helped us put on a ride, bring in the money to help out so that we can help more moms in the future.
You guys do an amazing job. You guys had a lot of people at the ride last year. And just to have a home for people to go to, for women to go to, is such an amazing thing. and you have a ride yourself that you guys are doing this year. Tell me when that ride is, the Peanut ride.
It's July 26th, so
Okay.
it's called Hope for Peanut, but Teamster Horseman's helping us put it on.
And where is that at?
It's going to be a Monkey Business. I'm not 100% sure the address. It's on the southeast side of Indianapolis.
Okay. So what brought you out to this ride today? Because this ride is for the vets.
We go and try to cover every ride we can to help in the community, to give back to the people that need it the most. And they're helping a great cause, and we've been looking forward all year. This is our first ride that we finally got to go to.
So what brings you out to downtown Trafalgar to do this ride today? What was it about this one that said, hey, I got to go do this?
Because it's for the vets. That's the only other reason. It's to support the vets. I read about what it was, and it's to help with donations and help get them for the things that they need, and for the cause that it is, help and support them and take care of them from all the problems that they've got with what they've had to deal with in the past. So
right.
That's what it's here. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome. You know, I wasn't even aware of the Indy Vet House. I didn't even know that existed. So I was super psyched when I saw that. I couldn't help but notice when you pulled up on this motorcycle, it's kind of the right bike for this ride right here. Tell me a little bit about this.
It's an 05 Road King, and the story behind this bike is, we've talked about this once before, and a friend of mine, Jason Wolf, he bought the bike new, and then they decided to do this whole scheme and everything. He was in the military. This is his Purple Heart from his, from things he went through, and this is just his layout and things that he's dealt with in the military and what he wanted on a bike. And he got to a point in his life where he was wanting to get rid of it. It just so happened that my son was going in the military at that time when I was looking for a new bike, so one hand fed the other, and it was a way for me to just kind of support and show that I do appreciate everything that they do. And I've changed a couple little things here and there to what I like, but other than that, we kept the overall of the bike and didn't want to change anything about what it stood for.
Altogether, our final count is $1,200 even, plus all the donations. So, on behalf of Source Brotherhood, it's my honor to give you this. Thank you, David.
People talk about your one-stop shop. Well, Flat Out Motorsports is definitely a one-stop shop.
Maybe you like to hit the streets on two wheels, whether you're a touring guy, whether you're a cruising guy, or maybe you like the sport bikes.
If you'd rather play in the dirt, there's four wheels or there's two wheels.
Or maybe you've gotten to that point where you're ready for an extra wheel. They got the Can-Am Spyder and the ever so cool Slingshot.
Or maybe you don't like the dirt or the road, then you can get on the water. Take this baby for a ride.
No matter what you need, no matter what brand you like to ride, all the safety gear, helmets, whatever you're looking for, it's all right here under one roof. And with the used motorcycle sales, you can pretty much find any kind of motorcycle you like.
Motorcycle riders want the freedom of the open road. Unfortunately, other motorists often do not give riders the proper attention the law requires. Call us at Leidendorf Law. Like family, because we are.
Wendy, you are the feature woman rider for Leidendorf Law, and you are riding an awesome bike. Tell me about this bike.
It's a 2008 Yamaha V-Star 1100.
How long have you been riding?
2003.
Long time?
That's when I began. So
Did you
riding
go
dirt bikes
through
before that? But
Did you go through the riding course?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't just go out there and...
No, ma'am. No, in Muncie.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was like the testing facility where you drive, you get $75, you go take the test, written test, driving test.
Now, is this your first bike?
I learned on an older bike, 81 Magna. And I bought this one in 08. It's an 07, so I'm sorry, it's in 2007. My bad. It's hot. And
You're ready to get on the bike and ride.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, have you done a lot of miles on this bike?
It had 2,200 miles on it. I checked it last weekend because we rode down to Nashville. Matter of fact, with him.
Nashville, Indiana?
Girl, this is for Steel Horse. Cheryl. Hold on. Oh, she's. Anyways, I went down. We did what? Almost 300 miles last weekend. We went down to Nashville. Did almost 300 miles last round trip.
Yeah, we did.
Steel Horse. They're doing an
Who's
interview.
this?
This is Cheryl.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we
I
gotta
tell you
too.
a story about last weekend, but I better not.
No, go ahead, tell us.
Oh no,
no,
we can't. It's a secret.
Only thing I can tell you is they were irrigation a field, and it was coming out on the road, and we're like riding,
hit us all.
thinking we're gonna miss it. No, we all got, and it was chilly, and we all got.
It was good though because it was hot. It's all good.
And you all
That's
had on
it,
white
that's
shirts,
all I can
right? You all had on white shirts.
No, I had chaps.
Aaron!
It was cold. I had chaps.
Aaron! Yell for Aaron. Get her. Get Aaron. This guy's right. Seriously.
No, it's just about you.
Okay, my bad. I'm not used to that, so.
No, that's okay.
I'm just, I divorced 3 years ago and just doing my thing, so.
Just doing your thing. Well, that's good because you're on the bike and you're riding. You went to Nashville, I'm assuming Indiana last weekend.
Yeah.
Have you ever been out of state? Are you doing any big rides?
They've talked about going down to Virginia and maybe Tennessee, maybe even Florida. So
that'd be awesome.
I'm up for
Get
it.
some, get some miles under you.
Yep.
Awesome.
Not bad
You
at
got a lot. You got a lot of miles under
Not
you
bad
anyway.
at 53.
53? Are you kidding me?
This is a standard lawyer commercial. This is a dramatic shot of me walking down the hallway. This is a stage scene of me talking to clients, even though they're not actual clients. This is the closing shot in my office, where I say my catchphrase looking professional and confident. Look, all lawyer commercials are the same, but not all lawyers are the same. Ladendorf Law has been involved in the motorcycle community for over 35 years, with many more years to come. Ladendorf Law, like family, because we are. The attorneys at Ladendorf Law have over 100 years of experience in personal injury and wrongful death litigation. Call us at Ladendorf Law. Ladendorf Law, like family, because we are.
Hey man, we're up here in Lapel. We're at the American Legion. It's a beautiful Saturday. Tons of bikes. Cindy, what's going on?
This is the Veterans Ride, and there are a ton of bikes here. There are so many people. It's so good to see coming out to support these veterans.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you get a local group of people like this coming to do something, I mean, let's face it, this year has been awfully hard to do anything. So it's really cool to see this going on. Like you said, a ton of bikes here already. So what do you say we go find them, find out a little bit more about what they do for the veterans here?
Let's go.
All right, Big Bob here. You got a lot of bikes showing up already, man. Tell me a little bit about this ride.
Yeah, this is our 9th annual Veterans Ride here for veterans. We're doing a poker run this year instead of our typical ride where we all stay together and everything, that kind of social distancing thing or whatever. We're all going to stay together, go to our first stop over Middletown Legion. We got the big flag. The fire department split it up over 53rd Street for us. We'll go underneath that. And then after we get that first stop of the Legion, then we'll all break off and go at our own pace.
Now, when you say, I know this is for the veterans and stuff like that, what exactly do you guys do?
Yeah, we help out local veterans.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It all stays local. Whatever we don't donate it to the Wounded Warrior Project or anything, like the big like that. I mean, not that I have anything against them, but people like to see the money stay local.
Exactly.
Help out local.
No, that's super cool. And it's funny because I know we covered a ride, and it's been quite a few years ago, but I always remember Lapel. It's the golf cart.
Yeah.
The golf cart town is what I always remember, the golf cart and the railroad tracks. And it's just, I know when we covered that ride, it was just, everybody there was just super cool. It was just such a good group of people, and I see a lot of those same people are here today. And I don't know, it's pretty amazing. You guys got a nice facility here.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And you come to our Eagles ride a few years back, the one you're talking about, put that ride on too. So.
And that's why I automatically associate you with Eagle Riders, and I realize this is American Legion here. And tell me a little bit about the monument you have back here.
Yeah, actually the Boy Scouts put that monument up out there to do their flag burning ceremonies and everything out there, but we're going to be doing our missing man ceremony here at 10:30 before we leave. Normally we do that at one of our stops. We go up to Royerton up there to Ambets and do the same thing up there, but we're going to do it here before we leave this time to make things a little bit easier.
Hey man, we're up here at the Lapels with the Eagle Riders and
American Legion.
Here with Mark Ladendorf. I don't think he needs any introduction whatsoever. Let me just go ahead and say this because I'm going to say it sooner or later. If it wasn't for this band, Steel Horse would not be on TV anymore. So, you know I'm going to say it, so let me get it out of the way. So, Mark, what brings you out to this ride today?
Well, been a good friend with Big Bob, who's running this show today, and represented his family in the past on a couple accidents. And so when he started it with the Lapel Riders initially, now we're with the American Legion today. Same group. He's part of both groups. He asked me, will you sponsor? I said, of course I will. I mean, this is a great place to be, great people. They have a tribute area back here that honors the armed forces. It also honors the various fraternal groups that are here in this area, in the Lapel area. And I'm just real happy to be here. We've got our booth here. Brenda's here and Cheryl from my office. We're here to help you out if you ever need us, and we're glad to be part of Steel Horse. Of course, we're looking forward to the season starting up.
Yes.
God allow us to. We're going with it. We're ready to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is kind of this is not an unusual thing for you. You guys represent a lot of people. And, you come out to a lot of fair rides every year. I mean, does it get difficult trying to figure out which rides you're going to go to? Because obviously you can't go to all of them. It's just like us. We can't make it to all of them. I mean, it's got to be difficult for you sometimes, because I know there's got to be times there's rides you want to go to that you can't.
Well, that's absolutely true. And then we'll usually try to send a representative. Like, Brenda, obviously, Brenda, she's been on the show a lot of times. We've made her now the ambassador of the rides for Ladendorf Law. So yeah, we have to try to pare it down to the best we can. And it's not always rides. Like, we do the Suicide Walk in Indianapolis, which had 3,500 people last year. Touched a lot of people and families that we all know have been struck by such a tragedy. But we want to be part of it. We want to be part of the community. That's what counts. And I think all of us who've been part of any type of ministry, whether it be law, or whether it be a pure religious, pure spiritual ministry, we want to be part of the people that are in there with the bright eyes and the working hands, and part of trying to do good.
So Eric, we're here at the Veterans Ride, and you are taking pictures. Tell me about this picture thing that you're doing.
Well, I take pictures of everybody to show the community what we're doing, and let people know that we're trying to help veterans of Indiana and anywhere rolling. Plus you guys are out here. Thank you for coming out. But we just try to let people know that we're here to help.
And what all do you guys do?
Well, we do rides for kids. We do rides for the veterans, like I said. We help out. We pick a kid out a year, and about 40 of us, we set up for these kids, and we give them a Christmas and stuff like that. We ride for everybody. We try and do it, get in there and be involved.
Well, you guys do a great job. You really do.
Thank you.
As the historian, I think you said you were the historian now for 2 years.
Yep.
What does that mean to you to be the historian?
Well, it's an honor, it's because I take a lot of pictures and I meet a lot of people. I met you, and I meet a lot of new writers, and get to learn different things, how different parts of the state, how people act and how they interact, and stuff like that. And this year's been kind of slow because of, like I said, the COVID-19 shut everybody down. But other than that, it's coming back.
It is. Yeah. It definitely is. Yeah. Now, I know you just told me a story about something, and I know this is kind of for safety, so I'm going to let you tell that story about your bike and the tire on the back.
Well, if you get flat tires on your bike, they're bald, get new tires. I went through a stop sign last year and running at 20 miles an hour. Don't matter how fast you're going. You put on the brake and you start sliding, it scares you. Get good tires, ride with good tires, stay safe.
So Shelley, you're the ride leader. Tell me about your job today, what you're going to be doing.
We're going to make sure everybody's safe, number one. Our goal is to raise some money for veterans of Madison County. We are going to leave here and go to Middletown. We're going to practice the social distancing and the capacities by splitting up into smaller groups so we don't overwhelm people. And our goal is to make a lot of money for our veterans. They deserve us.
So when you go out on the ride, you said social distance. Are you going to different restaurants, or are you staying in the same one?
No, we have 8 different stops.
Okay.
And once we'll go to the first stop together, and then from there we'll split into our smaller groups to help these restaurants that have 50% capacities. And all of our stops are Legions except for 2. The Legions are hurting right now for business. They need us very bad. So we're trying to get these businesses back up after the quarantine.
So does the ride itself, does it cover the money that's brought in today? Will it go to this Legion? Or does it go to...
It goes to needy veterans across. We get applications and requests for help for like rent, medical expenses. We actually have a couple power chairs that we rent out for people that need a power chair. So it's all for stuff like that. Plus we donate to other rides. So the money goes into our pot and then we divvy it out. So it doesn't really stay at our Legion. Mm-hmm. It goes out into the community.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do a good job. There's a lot of bikes here today.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. I really am. Last year it rained.
Oh, okay.
It rained the whole day. It was terrible. So this is beautiful.
Oh,
God's
it's a nice
blessing.
Day, yes.
Yeah.
Nice day today.
Yes.
We're here at the American Legion ride. Now, I know everybody's kind of getting to their bikes, getting ready to take off. You just got here. Yeah. I'm looking at your bike, and it's probably the fastest bike in the parking lot. Why are you at the back of the line?
I don't know, because that's the group that I rode with.
Is that right? They all
Same with the group, yeah. Same with the group that I rode with. So.
Very good. Well, you know, I like it when I see a sport bike show up to a charity ride. Because people always think, oh, well, that's just all the old Harley riders. And it's like, well, yeah, there's a lot of old Harley riders out there too, but it's for all bikes. And so I love to see sport bikes come out here because I like motorcycles of all kinds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
So what made you decide to do this charity ride today?
Well, my friend Kyle, he invited me out. Him and his parents were coming out here to ride, so and they invited me out here. So I went into work a little earlier and got off a little earlier so I could come ride.
So you went and worked and then came straight from work over to do this?
Yep, started at 3 a.m.
Well, aren't I a butthole? Here I am sitting here giving you a hard time for being late. You've been up longer than all of us
I
have
woke
been.
up at 2 o'clock this morning, so.
well, kudos for that, man. That's awesome. So now, have you ever done charity rides before?
I have not. This is my first one.
First one, and now you're going to be behind all these old Harley riders.
Yeah,
you do realize you're going to have
right.
to exercise a lot of self-control. You can have a lot of fun when the ride's over, but during the ride, you do realize you're going to have to kind of back off the throttle a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yep, that won't be a problem at all.
Yeah?
As long as we stay moving, it's pretty hot out here.
It is hot, yes. The breeze is going to feel good. Well, hey, that's going to do it for us this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Cindy, what'd you think?
It was great. And you know what? Keep on looking at Facebook because in the near future we're going to be doing the Steel Horse Thunder Posse ride. So just keep on checking us out.
Yeah, we haven't set the date just yet, but that's coming up. It was a super success last year. Let's do it again this year. That being said, remember, it's not what you ride.
It's that you ride.
You are, and you are.
Perfect. All right, Scott, ready when you are.
You looked at me like you said that as a question. You are.
Yeah, exactly. Is that right?
I'm not sure if I got that right. Up here today.
This is the American Legion.
Veteran.
You're right. That's going to do it for us this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Cindy, what did you think?
I thought it was great. And remember to keep on
keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, there you go.